Okay guys, to use the APIs provided by OpenAI, we need two things. Well, actually three things. The first one is to set up an account to log into OpenAI. The second thing is to create an API key or the so-called secret key, which will be used to make a safe connection to OpenAI, as well as to distinguish your connection from others. And the last thing is to provide a payment method. At the time of this recording, connecting to OpenAI's API is no longer free. This is why we need to provide credit card information to OpenAI. But don't worry about the pricing, it's not that expensive. I'll explain this later. Let's set up an account first. Use any browser you like, connect to OpenAI.com. If this is the first time you use OpenAI, then click on the Sign Up button on the top right corner of this page. If you already have an account, but you want to register a new one, click the Sign Up button as well. The sign up process is pretty straightforward. Just follow the instructions on the page step by step. But I suggest you sign up directly using one of these cloud platform accounts such as Google, Microsoft, or Apple. It's much more convenient and you don't have to remember a new account and password. I already signed up for OpenAI with my Google account, so I'll just go back to the front page and click on the login button. It logs me in immediately. Now it asks me to choose from one of the three options: ChatGPT, DALL-E, and the API. DALL-E is the function to generate images by interpreting a single line of description. Since this course is going to create AI-generated chat functions, we won't use DALL-E. The ChatGPT option is for you to enter the web page to interact with ChatGPT online. Therefore, this is not what we are gonna use either. What we need is the third option, API. Click on API. Now we are on the platform.openai.com page. This is where you can find all kinds of information about the APIs provided by OpenAI. At this point, we have our OpenAI account ready. Now let's create a new API key. Click on the icon shown on the top right corner, then select View API Keys. Here it shows the keys that OpenAI has created for you in the past. If this is the first time you visit this page, you won't see this part on your page. You'll only see a +Create New Secret Key button. Click on that button. It asks you to input a name for this key, but it's optional. I suggest giving it a name. It'll be easier for us to distinguish multiple keys we generate from different purposes. For instance, you might want to use different keys for different projects, or you might use one key for the GPT model and one for DALL-E. Let me name this one as Learn C# Basics. Click on the Create Secret Key button. Okay, here comes the most important part. As the message on this dialog shows, for security reasons, OpenAI only displays this secret key to you once, and you won't be able to view it again. Therefore, before you hit the Done button, or click anywhere else to cause the dialog to disappear, make sure you click on the Copy button, then paste it to somewhere safe for later use. Of course, you can always generate a new key if you really lost the old one, but the downside of losing an old key is that if the key was used on client applications installed on your user machines, then your user cannot connect to functions you provide via the new key. Okay, the key has been set up, but it's not functionable yet because we have to provide a payment method to OpenAI. Click on the Billing tab on the left menu bar, then click on the Payment Methods button. I've already provided a payment method, so I have this Cancel Paid account on my page. Then click on the Add Payment Method. Now provide a valid credit card information, then hit Submit. Then you're all set. I'll just hit Cancel. In the future, if you want to know how much you've spent on trying out the Chat API, you can go to the usage page. As you can see, in June and July 2023, I tried it several days, each day at least 1 hour, but my monthly usage was still lower than $0.1. Let's go back to the billing page and click on the pricing tab. On the pricing page, you can find the information of how OpenAI charges for each API. The API we are going to use is the Chat API. More specifically, we are going to use the GPT 3.5 Turbo API. The 4K content model that we are going to use, it charges 0.0015 for each 1K tokens for input, and it charges $0.2 for each 1K tokens for output. Input means the messages we send to the API, and output means the responses returned from the API to us. Okay, so in my case, with all these days playing on this model, OpenAI has generated more than 30,000 tokens for me. A token is usually similar to one English word, but a polysyllabic word, such as the word communication, will take 2 tokens. We'll talk more about tokens in later videos. Okay, so 30,000 tokens, that can make a lot of conversations, right? That's more than enough for us just try out the API. If you are not really comfortable with not knowing what you will be charged by OpenAI, you can set up a monthly usage limit. Mine is $120 each month. Once my usage passes this limitation, OpenAI stops responding to my request until next month the available quota resumes. Okay, great, we're all set. Let's take a look at how the API works in the next video.